Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to a new YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, here we are for another draft analysis video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over the club that could do just about anything with this top 10 pick in this year's AFL 2022 draft. Now, I think you guys might know which club this is, so let's go ahead and hop right into things. So this club is Essendon. They do hold pick 4 in the 2022 AFL Draft as it stands now. They do have plenty of avenues and routes that they can go ahead and do now. That's not going to be rising up the draft order. If anything, they would trade down the draft order from pick 4 to lower picks, multiple first-round picks like what the Giants did with North Melbourne to facilitate a trade to get them to go up to pick number 1. So there's plenty of options which they can do. So let's go ahead and see what options they have. So their first option is to trade it. So they could go into next year's draft with a strong hand, which Melbourne is a pretty good trade partner to do that if they do want to go into next year's draft with a strong hand, because Melbourne are trying to get into the top 10 and their offer is 2 future first round picks for next year. I think it's their own and 1 tied to Fremantle. So they are going to be lower back in next year. You'd be thinking perhaps be looking at about like a 13 and a 17 or something like that, or an 11 and a 14. So maybe not top 10 picks, but they will still be right in that first round. Or they could get later first, early second round picks for this year, slide back this year. There'd be probably, again, some teams that are willing to trade. Again, Melbourne could be another good trade partner. The Giants could also be another good trade partner as well. So Melbourne doing to get into top 10 could be trade partner. So there are plenty of options here, plenty of clubs that could probably be willing to explore a trade with Essendon for their pick 4, considering it being high demand. The talent is still going to be there at the time. Only 3 players are going to be wiped off the draft board, or perhaps 4 if a bid does come in for Will Ashcroft. And that's not really a lot of players. There's going to be still plenty of talent left in the draft at that point. So obviously their next option is obviously use the pick and pick up a player. Now, I have put, there will still be many high prospects that will still be available there to get. Now, I have put players that could be available for selection. Now, obviously there's going to be a lot more than this, because pretty much the entire draft is going to be there. But these are players that I think they'd have a good look at. Now, I have wiped Aaron Cadman off the board because you feel like he'd go at GWS's pick 1. Obviously, Will Ashcroft won't be in the mix either because he would have already been bidded on, because either the Giants or North will bid on him. So I've gone with appropriate draft prospects which they've been linked to and which ones could still be there. Now, obviously, North Melbourne have picks 2 and 3, which will probably wipe off players on this list still. Now, George Wardlaw and Harry Shees were both on this list. They probably both will be taken by North Melbourne, but I've still put them on anyway, because if they do slide, Essendon will probably go ahead and pick up them and not trade out. So, on this list, I've got exciting midfielder George Wardlaw, another exciting midfielder in Elijah Testas, or Elijah, I don't know how to say his name. We've also got like a mid-forward kind of Toby Green-like player, Harry Sheasel. We've got Bailey Humphrey, Mates Filipofu, and Elijah Hewitt there, which are options that Essendon would look at getting. Now, they do have their Davey Jr. prospects as well coming up, but they won't be, obviously they'll be there at pick 4, but they'll be looked at later in the draft, because obviously there's going to be better talent around at pick 4, and Essendon should secure both of them at later draft picks. But these are still some very exciting talents that are still around at this point, which they could definitely pick up, could Essendon. So if they don't look to trade out, there's plenty of good names right here which they could take, and obviously only one if they do choose to pick up a player, but there are some great names on this list. Alright, so this pick will change and shape the draft. Now, sorry for the spelling error. That's meant to be Will, but it's Wilk. This pick and decision is really big for the entire draft. Essendon do have a lot of choices. No matter what they do, it will change and shape the draft. So, basically, whatever Essendon do is going to be really important. Now, I have made a video a few weeks back going over which picks are going to be really important. And I did explain pick 4 of Essendon in that video, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, feel free to go ahead and do so. And I also went over North Melbourne's pick 2 and 3 and what I feel like could potentially happen. But again, what do Essendon do? Well, I mean, you're not really sure until draft night, until they make the move. There's a good chance they'll probably hold on to pick number 4, but there's just as high as a chance they'll trade it out, perhaps with Melbourne, who would be looking to get inside the top 10, and they could bank up next year, could Essendon. But there are still plenty of great names to be taken around that pick 4 as well. But yeah, this pick is shaping the entire draft. Essendon have got a ton of choices, and that's why they could do just about anything with this pick, because it really is flexible, versatile, and got plenty of choices to make. So choices are plenty to make, and yeah, on draft night it'll be interesting to see what they go ahead and do. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think Essendon will do with this pick. As I've said so many times, they've got so many choices. They could get a player, they could trade it out. So those are their really 2 choices, but they could do a lot with this draft pick. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you guys in the next video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.